we're fairly certain that the natural gas, if that were to come in, we could build significant power stations almost immediately. And they would give us good, reliable power. It's the cleanest of all the fossil fuels by far. That's the essential thing about it. And in South Africa, our main fossil fuel is coal, which is the dirtiest of them. And if you compare us with other economies around the world, they get about 30% of their fossil fuel from coal, 30% from oil, 30% from gas. We only get about 1% of our energy from gas. So we could clean up quite a lot of our act if we had natural gas. It's a very, very nice source of heat. And that's why the rest of the world makes wide use of it. We think there are enough reserves there to more or less provide 30% of our electrical power for a good deal more than 100 years.
Op die oomblik gebruik Eskom se 2 gasturbinestasies by Mossel Bay en Atlantis diesel as brandstof, maar die moontlikheid van onderseese gasvelde kan dit verander. Die langtermynplan is om hulle na gas om te skakel.
Going the gas route is what we actually want. If you've got a gas turbine, you would like to use gas and not diesel. We are using diesel because we don't have gas. If gas is there, then we're saying that our problems are solved. But we just need to do things in a manner that is less damaging to the environment, as well as taking into cognizance the possible negative impacts to human health and safety.
Skade aan die Nysna-kus is presies wat Ivan Keer nou vrees, na hy van die seismiese opnames in sy plaaslike koerant gelees het. Dit het hom aangespoor om iets daaraan te doen.
I didn't know what a seismic survey was, but I could see the common sense in not getting involved in offshore drilling here, because it's a very naturally beautiful area.
Ivan het meer as 700 aantekeninge gekry en verskeie departemente gekontak om skriftelik beswaar te maak. Terwyl die debat voortduur is die seismiese navorsing tydelik gestaak as gevolg van Ivan se teenkanting.
We need an area that is completely allocated to conservation, where the fish can recover their numbers, that they can build up and maintain themselves. These species are not recoverable. When they're extinct, they're gone.
So die gasfondse is goeie nuus vir 'n elektrisiteitshonger Suid-Afrika, maar die vraag bly natuurlik, wat kan ons doen om die see se soogdiere en vis te beskerm terwyl daar gesoek word daarvoor?
Nobody in their right mind would allow a seismic survey to be carried out on the southern Cape Coast during the right whale breeding season, when there is 6 to 8 months of the year when the animals are not here, where in fact that survey can be carried out. So it's the timing and the spatial components of when the surveys are done that is probably our biggest or our best way of mitigating the effects on some of these animals.
In areas where there's ongoing frequent seismic activity, I think it's very reasonable to expect that species would end up avoiding those locations altogether. And this is critically important for sites which are important habitat all year round, or, for example, habitat that comprises migration routes from one site to another, where actually the activity prevents animals from moving from certain breeding grounds to feeding grounds. These particular sites probably have the biggest potential impact on things like whales and dolphins.
So, omgewingskenners het al bedenkinge oor die seismiese opnames. Hulle vrees dat dit 'n geweldige impak op die seelewe gaan hê as daar met die soeke na gasbronne aan die kus voortgegaan word. Kenners op die gebied van energieverskaffing het ook hul saak gestel. Hulle sê gas kan 'n groot rol speel met 'n baie kleiner koolstofvoetspoor.
It would help us immensely. One of the beauties is you can bring power stations fueled by natural gas on stream much quicker than anything else. You can make sort of 500 megawatts boom within 18 months if you know what you're doing.
So is die kool die sous werd? Is dit nodig om ons seelewe te beskadig in ons soeke na energie, wat ons wel brood nodig het? Wel, totdat ons 'n minder skadelike metode kan vind om gas onder die see te kry, blyk ons nie veel van 'n keuse te hê nie.
Well, gas and oil are important commodities for the South African economy. And, if we have these resources, it's going to be very difficult to make an argument not to utilize them. So absolutely, we need to explore what we have, and we need to be able to take advantage of the resources that South Africa has. But there are ways of doing it to try and minimize the impact of this type of activity on our biodiversity.
Die voordele wat aardgas vir Suid-Afrika inhou, maak onderseese ontginning noodsaaklik. maar dit kan nie ten koste van skade op die langtermyn onderneem word nie. Hoewel die huidige soeke na gas op die oog af goed gereguleer word, is meer navorsing nodig oor die skade wat seismiese opnames aan ons seelewe aanrig, sodat ons seker maak dat ons nie 'n te hoë prys gaan betaal nie.